Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Chapters. It's lovely to have you all back with us again. As usual, I'm joined by my very glamorous and successful co-host, the lovely author Fionnuala Kearney, and she's going to do our introductions for today, so I will pass over to her lovely smiley face.
Today, we're really lucky to have our friend and fabulous author, Anstey Harris. Anstey's latest book, which is called Where We Belong. This is the proof cover, not the proper cover. Anstey, give a wave of the cover there. Fabulous. That is out this week, this coming Thursday. And fabulous, fabulous book. Book club, book plug rather over for now. Anstey, you, Claire, and I go back a long, long time, where we met in an online forum called Right Words. Do you know, Claire and I worked this out recently. It's over 13 years ago.
I thought it was a lot longer ago than that. I thought it was about 2005.
Oh my God, that makes it 15 years.
16.
I joined in maybe 2006, maybe.
Right. Okay.
Oh, you were there before I joined.
Yeah, and I was after you. So I was working from 2007. So anyway, either way, it's a long
way. It's a long journey.
From Right Words online forum, when in fact Claire was published at that time, but you and I weren't, Anstey.
We were so far away.
To Where We Belong, via the truths and triumphs of...
I know, just looking for a copy. Why haven't I got a copy of that? Ah, here we are. This one.
There's via the truths and triumphs of Grace Atherton, which is
a lovely shiny cover.
It's amazing, isn't it? A beautiful spine.
Yeah. Last year's fabulous success for you.
Yes.
So tell us, Anstey, you're a teacher, you're an author, you're a dog lover, you're a foodie, you're a granny, you're mum of Lucy Spraggan. What's your favourite and most natural role when you get up in the morning?
Oh, it's hard to say, because at the moment that would have to be foodie, because we all just wake up and have the conversation about three meals we're going to have.
What are we going to have today?
That's a tough one. I guess it depends on phases of your life, because when we guys met on Right Words, I don't think I definitely didn't imagine this. You know, I remember at the time that I was setting out to write a Richard and Judy book.
Yes, and
that's what I kept telling everybody. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I certainly didn't believe that I'd ever have the choice of being able to say, oh yeah, my favorite role is being a writer, and then this week Richard and Judy chose The Truths and Triumphs of Grace Atherton as one of their 17 all-time favourites. So
and you've beat Claire to her question.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, the other thing I set out to do was write a Richard Curtis film, so I'm still waiting for him to ring.
Yes, well, I have every faith, and I'm not just saying this to blow smoke, it's just I have every faith that either one or indeed the next one will and could make a fabulous film. In fact, something that we will just share, Anstey and I. Anstey and I have the greatest fun offline, always casting our movies.
So it's Fionnuala who's so good at it.
I must talk to them, because I'm useless at it.
She never just sent you a random email that says, here's your cast. She does that to me all the time.
Well, I'm really disappointed. I haven't had a single.
Yeah, I take massive issue with that.
Only because we've discussed it and you and I haven't. But anyway, Claire, you were going to ask Anstey. Oh God, I've forgotten what you were going to ask.
I was going to ask about.
I'm all flustered.
I mean, it must have been lovely for you. I think everybody in the writing community is finding it a bit of a struggle at the minute, because it's such a strange time, and books are coming out and we don't know what they're going to do, or all we're hearing is the negative stuff. So to get that lovely boost that it's one of Richard and Judy's top 17 books of all time must have been amazing. When did you hear about it? How did you hear about it?
I saw it on Twitter. Literally. And I didn't really process it, because I just thought, it glanced me by, and I thought, they must be just you know, putting up some books that you might want to read during lockdown down or something, and then Catherine Isaac, who's also on it, retweeted it, and then I read it properly and read her kind of byline, which was like, fantastic, amazing, and then I read what the piece actually was, and could have knocked me down with a feather.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Lovely.
So pleased.
Talking about Richard and Judy this, because they're doing like book club stuff, and all I've seen is talking about Richard and Judy at the minute all over Twitter. So it's like it's right there, and it's in the zeitgeist at the minute. So hopefully it'll give Grace a lovely boost. And
yeah, that would be so nice.
You know, with the new book as well, you're in a strong position, lady.
So before we get onto the new book, Anstey, so that people who are looking at this know a little bit about you as opposed to the author you and your work you. I've described you as being a teacher, dog lover, foodie, all of those things. You're also mum to Lucy Spraggan, who we will remember as, well, first of all, she's got the most amazing career herself now. But she also, we heard of her first, I guess, you know, en masse through X Factor.
We did, singing last night, the Beer Fear song.
Yeah.
The song that I had said to her, do not sing that song at your audition. Do not. And she did.
But of course, you know, it's just proof, isn't it? You don't always listen to your mum. And you're now a granny as well, not via Lucy, but by your eldest daughter, Ella.
I am a granny to two, Albert and Wilfred.
Yeah.
So Ella was a little bit perturbed
about
a couple of weeks ago with the old Wilfred announcement.
How you managing not seeing them over lockdown? Because I know a lot of grandparents and vanilla
it's for everybody's safety, isn't it? So you just have to get on with it. In fact, we spent yesterday building an ice cream kiosk in the garden for when our grandchildren are back. It's not a real ice cream kiosk, it's a pint-sized ice cream kiosk for them to serve us ice cream. So I spent yesterday making 4 wooden ice creams to stick on the outside. I wish I could show them to you because they're amazing. I'm wasted as a writer.
It's just proves
you try and find a picture on my phone.
Yeah, it proves you just got that creative streak running right through you. Are you musical at all, or is that Lucy's thing?
I'm an all right singer.
She's a very good singer. I've heard her sing.
Obsessed with singing and being, you know, and I used to play the cello beyond badly, and I am contemplating using the rest of my lockdown to go back to playing the cello and do it properly. Yes.
I've always sensed that as a whole you're a very musical family, all of you.
Yeah, we are. That's kind of what we do, is our, you know, some people play board games or go jogging or whatever. we sing
or have rows, like,
we do that. We're really good at that, but we do it musically.
Well, I'm one of a family of 9, so in Ireland 9 people all herded into one house, and you know, lots of rows and lots of people vying for mum and dad's attention was just par for the course. So listen, Anstey, we have got a quick fire round here that I hope you will enjoy. So the first 5 tend to be questions that we ask everybody, and you just answer instinctively, 1 or 2 lines, 1 or 2 words, whatever comes into mind.
Is this one of those things where you suddenly forget that you've ever read a book?
Probably, yeah. And then so the first 5 we tend to ask everybody, and then the latter 5 are specific to the person that we're talking to, i.e. you today. So first, okay, scenes, write in order or not?
Scenes.
What we
I write in order to the extent that I physically can't make myself go on to the next chapter unless I have finished the one before. No matter what, I can't jump around at all. In fact, in my new book, to me this is no longer my new book because I'm now on book 3. So but in this book there's a piece of research that I need to do, and I know exactly where it is. It's in the Youth CND archives in Macclesfield Silk Museum.
Wow.
And I have my contact made to go and open this archive and read exactly what I want to read, but obviously I can't get there. And so I am, for the first time in my life, going to have to write. In fact, it's right where I am now. The information for this chapter is in the Silk Museum. Blah blah blah. Move on. And that will be the first time I've ever done that. Even missed a line.
So I think when you do it the first time, it probably won't seem so awful, you know.
Does it become a filthy habit and you do it all the time?
Probably. No, we're the same.
We're the same.
Very much right in order, and we can't. We're just too control freakery about it.
Yeah, same.
Well, we've spoken
So
to a few authors during this, and they jump about and they write.
Yeah.
The fun
Most people that we've spoken to are, you know, people who jump about and very happy to write out of order, which we're in awe of, but we can't do, you know.
No, I can't do.
Second question: what's your most effective writing time in the day, or indeed in the evening?
Not any one particular.
No?
Most effective cooking up story time is 4 a.m. That I always do an hour at 4 a.m. of kind of what I'm going to write that day, and then whenever I happen to sit down. As you know, I write very, very fast because I type well, so I don't write for a number of days or sometimes even weeks, and then I will sit down and I will write everything I thought of in that time. So it's not inconceivable for me to sit down and write 5,000 or 6,000 words in a day that I won't ever change because I had already written them. They're not really new. I'd got that far in the story in my head, but it's so long since I wrote anything that I'll do that whole lot in a day.
I can vouch for that because Anstey and I have been lucky enough to go on writing retreats together, and I will be there beavering away at my laptop, possibly with things that I may alter or amend the next day. And Anstey is going on a cliff walk for 5 hours. And I think, why when we've come away to write, aren't you writing? And then she comes back and she says, but I was in my head. Yeah. And then the next day, at 12 o'clock or whatever at lunch, I'll say, so how many words are you up to? And she'll have beaten me in the word count because that morning she'll have
spewed it all out.
Spewed it all out. Okay, so what's your favourite, first draft or editing?
I like both actually, but I only say that today because a couple of days ago I had that kind of moment where my characters took over and now they're in charge and not me, and so the rest of the game will be easy or easier, and I no longer know what's going to happen in this story, etc. But I do like editing. I'm very good at following rules, just how I'm managing not to see my grandchildren in lockdown. I'm very good at following rules, and I really like somebody with the talent of an editor, which, you know, I've had some incredible editors, and then and also my agent who does brilliant edits, telling me what to do then, and all I've got to do is what they told me, and I find that easier, even if it's huge and it's take out this entire section. I still find it easier, I think, than writing.
Okay, favorite novel, quick.
Midwich Cuckoos by John Wyndham.
Okay. Do you read reviews or not?
Not only do I read reviews, but I read the newest reviews on my Goodreads and my Facebook, Amazon, every single morning.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh God.
I have a private Facebook account that in a false name, and every single one of my 1-star Goodread reviews goes up there.
Okay. Okay, we touched on this ever so slightly earlier, but with Where We Belong, which we'll give it a little thing again.
This one.
Who would
be
your favourite actors to play Richard and Kate Morris? Or do you want me to answer this for
Can you answer that, please? Because I don't have a clue. I mean, I kind of want to say Klaus Bang for both of them, just because then I get to work with Klaus Bang in all the roles.
No,
obviously, and then leave my husband and family with Klaus Bang and him leave his. But artistically, no idea.
Okay, I have to say I haven't thought about it yet either, so we'll just have to put that park.
But I think Richard would be somebody kind of quietly handsome who looks good with a beard.
Okay.
But I've no idea about Kate.
We'll have a think about that. Okay, white or red wine?
I don't drink at all.
Of course you don't. Tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee, mainlined.
Okay.
Always.
Favorite musical artist?
It would have to be a fight between Don McLean and Kirsty MacColl.
Oh.
Yes, and I think they'd have to fight that musically.
Yeah.
Okay.
The late great Kirsty MacColl.
All right. Instinctively, what remains your biggest dream?
Probably the Richard Curtis film.
Yeah. When I heard you say that earlier, knowing that I had this question, I was thinking, sorry, I've got a bit of frog in my throat today. But yeah, Richard Curtis film, fabulous. Good dream to have. I think it's one we all share.
Yeah.
Look at right. I'm just nosy about that. Are you talking about having Richard Curtis adapt one of your books, or working with him specifically to write a?
No, I can't imagine anything harder than being asked to screenplay your own book. Because it's such a different skill set. I would be quite probably uncomfortable with that. I think. I mean, obviously, nobody's ever asked me. But no, I'd like Richard Curtis to adapt one of my books into a movie as good as Four Weddings.
Yeah. Oh, dreams.
What would be a love? It would just the Twists and Triumphs would just be the perfect movie to watch at the minute when we're in this strange place.
I would. Well, yeah. I mean, particularly for me, obviously, because then I could buy a bigger garden.
Okay, final question, Anstey. Are you a grouch or a saint in the morning?
Oh, I'm a saint in the morning. As you well know, having been away with me, by the time everybody else is awake, I've already cooked 3-course breakfasts and gone for a run, and I've already been awake for half a day by the time anybody else gets out of bed. So but I go to bed nowadays I go to bed about 9 o'clock.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. There's nothing to watch on telly.
Yeah.
And
I'd find something
to
go to bed at 9 o'clock though, I have to say. Yeah.
I mean, I don't actually physically go to bed. I just fall asleep on the sofa.
Yeah.
But I can't plan anything. Like if anyone wants to have a Zoom chat or something, I have to say, oh, sorry, it'll have to be over by 8:30.
Well,
I need to go to bed at 9.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed with a sort of a 8:30 curfew, because I'm like, in fact, people knew years and years and years ago. I used to say to people, anything after 6 o'clock, don't call me unless it's an emergency, because people would. You do a day's work, whatever job it was you were doing at that time, and then you do the family stuff, and really, there's just nothing left of me. By then, and the last thing I want to do is sit down and have a heart-to-heart with someone on the phone. I want to say, please, can you call me back another time, and actually that's sort of carried on really in my life. So really 6:30 is my curfew.
I must say, when I was a single parent, those post kids bedtime chats were literally what kept me alive.
Yeah.
And I was on the phone with my friends, all evening, which was horrific when you remember that my children were teenagers, same as yours, Fionnuala, in the days of dial-up and no mobile phones.
Yes.
So it was murder. It was a constant fight.
It's true.
Look, I would just like to say that I was a teenager in the days of dial-up and no mobile phone.
Brutal, Claire. Brutal.
I put my hands in my head, except everyone will see my roots, so I'm not going to do that. Anstey, it was absolutely super having you. Really, really.
Oh, thank
good.
you for
Lovely to
asking
have a
me. It was
chat.
very kind of you.
And we
And
wish
good
you
luck.
all the very, very best for
Thank
this beautiful
you.
book.
This Thursday, Where We Belong. Claire and I have the proof. Anstey has the real thing there.
Where
Thursday,
will people be
14th
able
of
to buy
May.
it, Anstey? Just very quickly before we go.
You can buy it. You can buy it on all the major, all the online retailers. But very specifically during lockdown, I know a lot of indies are keeping themselves going by doing deliveries. And this book is set in a museum in Kent. It's a real museum, which when you read the book, you'd be kind of surprised because it's really crazy. But it's a real museum, and there's a bookshop very near to that museum. So the bookshop's the Margate Bookshop, and they're a very new shop, so they're finding this particularly difficult. So they've got, you can pre-order online from the Margate Bookshop and pay no postage and packing in the UK. So
fabulous. And Anstey, just so that we can be sure, this Thursday is the hardback version, but it's also available digitally.
It's available on ebook and audiobook from Thursday the 14th.
And quickly, just before you go, because I know that you've got just a few variations of covers, just to show people who watch this.
Because these are great.
Quick look at the same book, but the US cover.
I also say, before I put my finger up, this is the result of catching a huge piece of wood, which was a cello back, which my husband had delivered to the house, and I tried to pick it up and caught it between my finger between the wood and the wall. But I'm very conscious it looks like really odd nail varnish. This is the American one. This is amazing.
The Museum of Forgotten Memories.
And in real life,
completely different book, but of course it's not.
In real life, there's an emperor penguin on the back of this book, sitting at a table attempting to eat an apple pie, and there is an emperor penguin in the book, and there's a bear and a fox and all of these mounted animals, not stuffed. They are taxidermied. And then this is the Australian one, which is also absolutely stunning.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But it's essentially, for those who are looking at this as a story they might think that they want to read, it's essentially a story of family finding that their roots are where they belong.
Yeah, it's very much a story about grief
and love
and family and place, belonging. It's kind of, it does do what it says on the tin, really.
And it's Where We Belong is a perfect title, in fact, for the book. And it's uplifting, it's sad in places, it's uplifting. It is that book that will give you both the tear in your eye and a smile on your face.
And would make a brilliant Richard Curtis movie.
It would make such a good Richard Curtis movie.
If you're listening or watching, you can call either Claire or I. We'll let you know where Anstey is.
They won't. They'll stop. They'll try. They'll just sell you one of theirs. You'll never get to me.
It's lovely to see you, and thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with the book and release on Thursday.